Hey Josh, how you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm well, I'm well. Hey, last year after the Jets game, you talked about how important it was to start the season with a win, and obviously nothing with that has changed. But as we go into this year, I guess how are the expectations different, if at all, as we head into the season compared to what it was last year?
I don't think expectations on our part have changed. We're going out there and we got to put forth our best effort playing against a good team and a really good defensive coordinator. So we got to be ready for everything that they throw our way. And we're going to have to make some in-game adjustments. We know that. We're going to have to ride the highs and, um, try to get on top of the lows. But every game presents itself with a different challenge. And when you got a defensive coordinator that can switch it up like he can, you got to be on top of everything.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, though, how much more comfortable are you, leading this offense now than maybe you were 12 months ago?
I feel like I'm in a good spot right now, and the relationship that I have with Coach Dable and understanding the offense and the players that we got here and how well and how much time they've put into the playbook and into their craft. And we got a bunch of guys that can make some plays. So now it's time to go out in the field and go out and execute the best that we can and try to get the ball into these playmakers' hands.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, John Scott. First and foremost, can we address your new facial hair decision? What went into that? And it is fantastic, I must say.
Thank you. I'm not the one that usually can grow much facial hair, and the beard is not a great look, and I know that. And I was just bored. It was camp beard into pregame stash, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep it, but I wouldn't say get used to it.
You need to convince Dable to bring his back. You guys would be a great tandem next to each other.
I'll see what I can do.
As a football question, how important or how much of a next step is your chemistry building with Stephon actually getting into game action? And is that like really the next step that you guys need to take?
Yeah, I think that once we get into a game, when plays break down, if I'm able to escape and extend the play, just trying to be on the same page with him, and that's something that doesn't come without the game reps. You can say it in practice and draw it up all sorts of different ways, but during the game and in the heat of the battle, things kind of change. And as long as you're on the same page, I think there's a lot of plays out there that can be made. So again, we'll see on Sunday. Time will tell, and I expect that relationship and the comfortableness to increase there every game that we have.
Thanks a lot. Digging it.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, just from watching some of the Jets film that you've been able to see so far, has it been different trying to look at film as the team as a whole, since there hasn't been any preseason games? This defense had the second best run defense last year. I assume it would be different this year with no run support from a guy like Jamal Adams and no CJ Mosley. So just wondering what you've seen with some of those new pieces, and if it has been any different since you really don't have a preseason game to look at.
Well, yeah, it's different because they do have a little bit different personnel. We understand that, and we're just trying to prepare for everything that we can see. And again, like when you get a defensive coordinator like Coach Williams, and how many different things that he can do and the different things that he can bring, it keeps you on your toes. So we got to stick to our base rules and understand if something looks funky, and we got to understand what our answers are, and that's a big job of my part. Ask quarterback to get us out of bad situations and try to put us into good ones.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh, what's going on? Mookie Hawkins, 14 Sports 1080.
Mook, good to see you.
Yo, what you went Donnie Brasco with the stash, man?
You take it easy on me, man. That's the best I can do.
Oh, no, hey, it looks fine to me, man. As long as you're ready to roll, I don't care, you know what I mean? But more on a serious note, just to piggyback off of Maddie here, what are some of the things you know about a Greg Williams defense?
He likes to heat it up, obviously, on third down. Big time Tampa 2. Just tries to kind of keep everything in front of you, and then when he gets you into a third and longer situation, that's when he tries to strike and force you to make a bad decision. So the best that we can do to stay out of these situations, obviously that's the game of football. You want to put yourself in second and third and manageable, but understanding that if we have a situation just like any game, if it's third and long, we got to be pretty precise in the decision-making process and not putting the ball in harm's way and allowing our defense to go out there and make them play along field.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Sam and Josh, season 3, he got the win on default in your house. You open the season again at your crib against your good friend. So how eager are you to pay him back?
I mean, everybody likes to make these comparisons and stuff, but when we go out there, I'm not playing Sam Darnold. I'm playing the New York Jets defense, and he's playing the Buffalo Bills defense. So as cool as it is to kind of play against him, we're worrying about what we're going to see on defense and what they can do to us there. So, but it'll be fun. It's always good playing against guys that you know.
Absolutely, Josh. Hey, good luck Sunday, man.
Thank you, Moop.
Hey, Josh, does it seem like there are more unknowns heading into this season because there was no preseason, because whether it was media rules or anything like that? Does it seem like there's more unknowns heading into week 1 than there have been in years past?
For sure. I mean, it's just all kind of new faces that you see without preseason and a condensed, really no OTA time. It's just the progression of players. It's gonna be fun to see, and we got a lot of guys that can play football, and that are real dudes. So I'm excited to finally get on the field and see what they can do for real.
Has it affected your prep? I mean, I know you guys play them twice a year, so it's nothing really new, but all the stuff that they could be working on and changing in the offseason, like you didn't really get to see any looks of that in the preseason. Has it changed your prep for the Jets?
No, not really. I think we're just kind of hoping that, Greg is who he is, and trying to prepare and who they were last year. Obviously, with new personnel, things are going to be different, and we're going to have to make in-game adjustments. So, we know that. We're fully aware of that, and, we're eager to go out there on Sunday and accept that challenge.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, how's it going, man? Thanks for
Good to see
doing this.
Marcel.
We've talked about your expectations just for week 1 with Greg Williams and the Jets coming up, but what would you say this team's expectations are, period, for this season? We just heard from Brandon Beane, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, that he doesn't consider this franchise to be back on track until you win an AFC East title. Is that the expectation? Is that the goal this year? Or maybe are you looking beyond that? But in your words.
I mean, expectation, I think, for everybody, the job that we are put here to do is to try to win a Super Bowl. I think that's what our minds are set on. At the same time, we're taking it one game at a time. We're worrying about the New York Jets, and we can't look forward to week 2 or week 3 or week 17 for that matter, and win an AFC title. But obviously, playoff caliber is our standard here. We want to make it to the playoffs, because once you make it to the playoffs, everybody's got a chance. And to have a home playoff game is going to be huge. So, Bean was right when he said that. But at the same time, it's one game at a time. But ultimately, I think everybody here would say that our goal is to win a Super Bowl.
And obviously, yeah, you got to take it one game at a time. That's how teams get caught up, looking, weeks and weeks in advance. But when you see this team on paper, when you start practicing with them finally in training camp, I mean, is it hard not to think, like, wow, we've got some talent here, we might be able to make a run here? Or I guess what goes through your mind when you see that collection of talent?
I mean, personally, for me, it's just, we're taking it one day at a time in practice. And it's fun to see our guys compete, because we do have a lot of talent here. But at the same time, talent doesn't win football games. The better team that executes on the field wins football games. So that's what we got to go out there and do. And every given Sunday is a little different challenge. And again, we got to prepare like, this is our last one. So we're excited for the challenge on Sunday, and excited to be back there playing football for real.
Cool. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh. How you doing?
Good to see you, Vic.
All right. Good to see you. This team has, and you've talked about this, or you talked about it a lot last season, the slow starts, the first quarters and such that haven't been the way you wanted them to be. What is your sense of how far, not just you, but the whole offense, especially the team, has progressed in that area of getting off to a faster start?
I think it's been an added emphasis on what we're trying to accomplish when we go out there and play. We want to go out. We want to score every single drive. Is that expected? No, but we want to go out there, and that's our job as an offense, is to go score points. So whatever we can to do to put up 7 early or put up 3 early is what we're going to try to do. And again, that was an added emphasis, and we're going to try to get off to a fast start, just like everybody else in this league. And I definitely think we got the guys to do it. So it's just kind of going out there and executing.
And as a follow to that, Josh, it's been kind of widely presumed that for obvious reasons, the lack of off-season workouts, the no preseason games, the kind of abbreviated time that you really have had, you and 31 other teams have had together, that football may not be the prettiest when this all begins, at least in the early part of the season. But for a team that does have your team's expectations, the sense is that you don't get to the goal you want unless you're sustaining that, like, pretty much from start to finish. How do you see the ability to be tighter with things and perhaps defy what is sort of expected by maybe some or all of the teams, just for the obvious reasons?
I can say one thing about that is we've got a lot of great dudes here that care a lot about each other, and they work their tails off. They come in each day and they prepare as hard as they can. They practice as hard as they can. So, again, that's credit to our front office for the guys that we've brought in. But again, we got guys that detail their work and really want to be great. So I wouldn't expect anything but to go out there and to execute well. But again, football's tricky and it's not an easy game, and we got to go out there and we got to make adjustments in game, and we got to rely on each other. But if it's one thing that this team is built for, it's relying on each other and trusting one another.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, Thad Brown. Do you remember the least attended game of your football career, whether it's middle school, whatever? I only ask because that record's probably gonna get broken on Sunday.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty weird. We had a mock game, if you will, a couple weeks ago, and as crazy as it felt, it did feel like the real deal. We had the announcer going, we had music inside, and it's going to be a different feeling when you score a touchdown and it's just not instant crowd reaction. You can't pump up the crowd. And so we got to be on our P's and Q's. And as far as communication goes, I think it's going to help out a little bit. But at the same time, it's, it hurts our defense because the offense can communicate so well. So it's going to be a bit of an adjustment period. But, we got guys that love the game of football and just want to play. And if this is what we got to do, we got to do it.
Do you remember the last game you played in front of little or no crowd, or the least crowd?
Pop Warner, maybe, Pee Wee football.
Was it even, like 15, 20 people? Or was it friends and family?
There's probably a little more. Everybody kind of wants to see their kids play, but right. It was just families basically in the stands. So it's going to be weird.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. That is all we have for today.
Perfect. Thank you.